And a very good evening to you. I'm Sophia Cambridge with this Sunday, July 23rd edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, Prime Minister Frundle Stewart is making it clear that some of the monies accumulated from the recently introduced National Social Responsibility Levy will help fund an increase for thousands of public workers in Barbados who have not had a salary increase since 2009. He made the disclosure while addressing a luncheon at the Christchurch West branch of the ruling Democratic Labour Party. Peter Thorne has the story.
In an hour-and-a-half address to the Christchurch West branch of the DLP, Prime Minister Stewart said he gave the commitment to the labour movement at a meeting on June 23rd, which lasted 6 hours from 3 p.m. until 9 p.m.
23rd of June, that understanding was reached. The 30th of September hasn't come yet. So what is the issue? We said we would wait until the 30th of September to see how the tax is performing, and on the basis of that performance, we would determine the government's ability to pay a salary increase, however small. But you hear no dialogue.
Mr. Stewart said he received a call from the head of the private sector on Wednesday, July 12th, asking him to meet urgently the next day to avoid social unrest, and he told him he couldn't because Cabinet meets on Thursdays.
All of a sudden, I heard that there was going to be this big march tomorrow, which private sector employers are paying their workers to participate in. They are paying their workers to participate in. Well, you know, a few people got on to me begging me to meet quickly to head it off. I do not want to head it off. I want it to happen. People of Barbados have to see what is possible around here and how far people will go in the pursuit of their perverse objectives.
Referring to the march involving unions and the private sector, Mrs. Stewart says lions and lambs don't lie together, neither do chickens and mongooses or cats and mice.
The government is not party or privy to any plan for social unrest in Barbados. If other social partners are, I think as Minister of Defence and Security, I should refer the matter to the Royal Barbados Police Force.
Prime Minister Stewart has also made it clear that rolling back the NSRL is simply not on, since the Cabinet is the only entity in Barbados that directs policy in the island.
Let me make it very, very clear. That is not on. If the government comes to the conclusion that the tax is not achieving the objectives which the government intended it to achieve, the government will have to look again. But the idea of any entity, any business entity in Bridgetown deciding that when the government is going to impose taxation of any kind, you have to get their permission before you impose it, that is not on.
Mrs. Stewart also made it clear that the only industrial dispute between any state entity and government at present is the state of negotiations with the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, which are before the Labour Minister. He says the march scheduled for July 24th is a reminder of the 1937 riots, which erupted on July 26, 1937. Peter Thorne, CBC News.
And the full address by Prime Minister Stewart will be aired on CBC TV 8 in place of The People's Business tonight at 8:05. Well, we stay with that DLP Christchurch West meeting and hear that the date for elections will be called when the time is right. The statement has been made by Democratic Labour Party candidate for Christchurch West, Senator Verla de Pisa. She says the administration will not be pressured into making the call by anyone or by any institution. Senator de Pisa says measures put in place by the current administration are, in her view, in the best interest of the country.
What we are all aware of, though, is that economic issue and the call at this point in time to place our country before ourselves. That is what I understand to be the situation that we are in. And so we battle, but we understand firmly that there are several battles within the war. And the Democratic Labour Party is certainly gearing up itself to win this war on behalf of the people of Barbados, not on behalf of individuals, not on behalf of insular interests.
Well, a noted economist is not convinced that tomorrow's joint march between the unions and the private sector is the best move for Barbados. Professor Emeritus Sir Frank Alleyne says the march is only about seeking to have the government changed. He also warns that the march could have serious social implications for Barbados.
Barbados in 2017 is not Barbados when the telephone company march took place.
Oh, definitely.
The level, but the potential for social unrest in Barbados today is fundamentally greater than the telephone company strike. That's the last strike I saw in Barbados. We got to be careful that if we decide that we have to pull people on the road to march, you might find that you can't manage the outcome of that march.
Professor Emeritus Sir Frank was a guest on CBC's Walter Point 2 talk show. He also disagrees with the suggestion that government should go to the IMF.
I believe I'm fairly sure former Prime Minister Onata knows that there are some social policies in Barbados in terms of the conditionality of getting access to the IMF fund money. You have to get rid of them. And the first two, I can tell you, will be this business of the taxpayers of Barbados funding tertiary education and the arrangement for access to healthcare in Barbados.
News from the culture scene now, and Barbados has 2 new junior calypso queens. This following the finals at Kensington Oval last night. Ms. Kabiba, singing Bring Back the Love, emerged as the winner in the 7 to 12 category of the Crop Over Junior Monarch competition, while Sparkle T won in the 13 to 18 category with a self-penned number entitled This Golden Chain. Both walked away with over $2,000 in cash and other prizes. The defending monarchs were Suma in the 7 to 12 category and the MC in the 13 to 18 category. There was a tie for second position in the 7 to 12 group between Brown Star singing Don't Pressure Me and Master K with A Child's Plea. Suma finished 4th with Potholes. In the older category, the Overcomer was 2nd with Save a Child, the MC 3rd with Who's Mad, and 4th place went to Lady Nika with her performance of Questions for the Minister. We'll have more news just after the break.
Shoes for casual wear, work, dress, school, hotel workers, restaurant workers, and wide-width shoes. Go to Megville. Yes, at Megville, you will get good shoes at good prices always. Located in Bridgetown on Palmetto Street, Tudor Street, and High Street.
Bacalao Time presents the best of Crop Over, Wednesday, August the 2nd and Thursday, August the 3rd. 2 big shows at the Lloyd Erskine Sanford Center, 8 p.m. Featuring Red Plastic Bag, The Boat is Rockin', Nikita, Peter Ram, The Woodman, Skrilla, Points in a Purple Heart, what type of wood you want? Marsville, Lead Pipe and Saddis, Lady Essence, and work on it. Lastman, Soca King, Stiffy, Comedy of Mad, Queen Archer Wilcox, and Rum and Coke, Edwin, Lil Rick, and more. I come here to jump down, short girls and tall girls. Bacalao Time presents the best of Crop Over, Wednesday, August the 2nd and Thursday, August the 3rd at the Lloyd Erskine Sanford Center. Do you have your tickets? I want to give it to you.
Looking for the best stage of the festival? It's the CBC Festival Stage, where the stars are sure to appear.
Yes, I get a lot of crap. Listen, there are a lot of people that are recording that shouldn't be doing it. They should be sweeping the road, as far as I'm concerned.
So don't get on that because the whole of Barbados set go down, then all of a sudden that go down, it cannot be bashment soca, it got to cross over into the main soca drum. But that sample condemn rhythm from Jamaica, no, but your criteria, that make it bashment soca.
I am saying that when you look at the music over the years, it was never given an identity.
Watch Festival Stage Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays live on CBC TV 8 from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Festival Stage is repeated on Mondays and Wednesdays at 9:03 p.m. and Fridays at 10:03 p.m.
Well, several videos allegedly showing police misconduct have prompted a top cop to remind lawmen to be mindful of what they say and do during operations. The advice is coming from the Acting Commissioner of Police during a closing ceremony for the region's Coast Guard and Marine Police units.
Cameras abound. And you know that with the internet, something that happens in Barbados at 10 o'clock, by 10:01, depending on the number of persons that are the center, can cover the globe. You should also be cognizant too that once properly done, that evidence can be admitted in court and evidence against you. But what I have been seeing is that the clips are only of about 10-20 seconds, and they don't show you what happened before, nor they don't show you what happened immediately after.
Well, Sandals Barbados has deemed a U.S. radio station promotion hosted by the hotel as a success. The 20 stations from key cities including Boston, New York and Miami were strategically chosen based on their reach in their various markets. They were on island to help spread the word about the new Sandals Royal Hotel, set to open by year-end in Barbados. Several live broadcasts were conducted between July 12th and 14th and July 17th up until last Thursday. The general manager of Sandals Barbados says the broadcast reach was vast.
We had two groups of 10 radio stations. I believe the capture or the audience was about 10.5 million. Besides talking about Sandals, the majority was Barbados. We had the Minister of Tourism. We had anyone that knew about Barbados come to Sandals and basically share their little part with all the audience in the U.S. So it was great.
And the Sandals GM has also revealed that work on the ongoing projects is progressing well. He says everything is on schedule. The sports news is up next.